Our story begins with a huge demon attacking a human. The last human. Victory will be mine, said the monster. A guy with white ashy hair, a sharp face, looked with anger and at the same time fear at this huge demon, and blood from his wound gushed out of his mouth. This world had come to an end. It had been a year since the humans had been defeated in the war with the demons. Most humans had been brutally murdered, and the survivors had simply become the vessels for the birth of the monsters. But as the last survivor of the resistance, this guy continued to fight valiantly until now. Tartaros, that was the demon's name. He was the king in the dark world. You seem to be in pain. Let me help you, extended his black demon hand to the man. I'll give you some time. That way we can talk a little. Man, is your name Jeffer? You're the first one who's ever bothered me. Amazing persistence. I commend you, said the demon. Though they say he who fights without any chance of victory is a fool. Those who surrender in fear of the strength of the enemy are not wise. They are simply fools. I get even angrier when I see such weak and impatient trash like you, said Demon Tartaros. You'll probably understand me, because you're the strongest of humans. That's why I want to offer you something, said the demon. Come to my side. Let's leave this filthy land and conquer others, including the abode of the gods, in which your power and mine will help. Jeffer was perplexed by this suggestion. Will you really accept me? Asked the white-haired boy. Of course, the demon replied. That sounds like a good idea. But there was one thing on this guy's mind that was definitely bullshit. I've been mortally wounded in this battle. He can't help but know I'm beyond help. But he offers to conquer something together. He says he'll give us a chance. Most likely he just wants to see me beg him like some coward. But begging the enemy who took everything from me, I would never do that. The boy held out his hand to the demon. If I do it with my hand, the sludge that's beyond me will just tear my body apart. But that's what my answer would be, said the chap. You know what, the devil, Tartaros, fuck you. And he cut off Jeffer's hand to the demon. Oh, shit, my hand, screamed the demon. For what? What happened to my hand? The demon asked. Jeffer, you're a terrible man, screamed with anger Tartaros. How dare you? I wish your mother would have you back. From the anger that overwhelmed the demon, but he summoned all his strength and struck the man that he was scattered like dust. And so ended the guy's battle. He couldn't avenge the people he cared about. He couldn't protect everyone he promised. It ended in shameful defeat. It should have been like this, but suddenly Jeffer woke up. What the hell? Didn't I just die? Strangely, all the wounds had healed. And where was I anyway? The white-haired boy wondered. Statues of the gods. Was there a temple around here somewhere? Oh, the afterlife, I see. No, it's not the afterlife. We're on the lower level of the pantheon in the abode of the gods. A blue glow appeared in the distance and he saw a beautiful angel. But to protect, the guy decided to reassure himself and summoned a sword. But the sword was not summoned. There's nothing to be surprised about, Jeffer, replied the angel. I am here to tell you the will of the gods. My name is Mercedes. I am the elder angel. You are dead. In the procedure I am obliged to send you straight to the underworld. However, because of the insistent requests of several gods, they have decided to send you back in time. What does that mean? The boy asked. You will go back in time with all your memories. It means you have the chance to change the outcome of the battle. You get to keep all your memories, but you get to keep all your magic and endurance skills. You've already become the one who climbed to the top of the human pyramid. I think it won't be hard for you to regain everything. Is this a dream? The boy wondered. Isn't Tartaros a master of the art of illusion? Is this a death euphoria? And why did they decide to give me such a chance? Pondered the guy in his head. It's hard to believe. I understand. I can provide evidence that will help you. No, I do. Let's say I do. What am I supposed to do? There's always a price to pay, isn't there? You want something and that's why you're giving me a chance. When demons were killing people by the thousands, when people prayed with all their hearts, the gods cut off communication with our world. They didn't answer prayers or accept offerings. Moreover, they took away the powers of the priests who could fight. Thus the human army, which had lost its protective and healing skills, was annihilated in an instant. Thought the boy that such calculating creatures cannot give him a chance for nothing. At that moment the angel continued. The will of the gods demands more spectacles, more bread. Heard these strange cries of Jeffer. What is meant is that the gods want to see more spectacles as people experience despair. The Juogs want to have fun watching people die. The gods that paid attention to you are very sorry that you died, said the angel. Rarely do you meet a man who will walk so steadfastly to the end, when there is only death ahead of him. The war you waged for 5 years against the numerous monsters was quite interesting. Many gods were upset if it ended very quickly, so they were watching you. Remember, near the end you were getting luckier and luckier, so the gods were helping you. Were you having fun? Yelled Jeffer angrily. My friends, my family members fought because they wanted to live. And you say you had fun. You think I fought to amuse you? Is that what you think of us? The angry guy yelled louder and louder. And at that moment a huge foot of God stepped on the boy, crushing him like a bug. Angel only laughed at that. You got me a little wrong. When the gods said interesting, they were only talking about you. They're not interested in people as a race. It's simple. If you prove yourself worthy, you'll get what you want. Whether it's something for you personally or for all people, it doesn't matter. You always have to pay for everything, right? By the way, the god who insistently asked you to go back in time did it for a different reason. Tartaros himself asked for it. Devil Tartaros is the god of destruction. He has destroyed only 10 worlds including yours, and his goal is to destroy all worlds. Until now, he's never lost. He's a warrior who's never been hurt. And you cut off his hand. You see how much you hurt his pride. Now he wants to fight you again and get a clean win. What do you say, Jeffer? Well, if that devil wants to die, I'll have to do his bidding, the white-haired fellow replied. Well, let's get started, then. The point of your arrival will be random, but you'll have plenty of time to regain your strength. Besides, there are gods who want to give you a gift. You will be able to verify it as soon as you arrive, even if those gods are ugly. Jeffer thought, but this is my chance. Use him to get revenge not only on the devil, but on all the gods. And at this point, the location for Jeffer's return to the past had already been chosen. The constellation confirmation for spatial temporal travel had been received. Good luck, Jeffer. I hope it will be interesting. And the angel sent the white-haired boy into a time loop, which twisted him like a whirlwind and took him back in time a few years. Subscribe to the channel, thank you. Jeffer found himself in the past. Slowly he opened his eyes at the audible voices of men. These voices came from men. They wanted to revive Jeffer. It turns out he got into a fight, got into a child's defense, and passed out from the blow. The boys finally realized that Jeffer was awake. When he opened his eyes and was able to fully realize where he was, the first thing he saw was the cave and the people with the branding. The same branding was on his arm. The guys that surrounded Jeffer were pouring water over him to restore his strength. I think I've seen them somewhere, Jeffer thought. He remembered. But why did he go back exactly 10 years, to his 20s? It was the time when he served in the temple as a slave. Those were hard times. While he was recovering, the boss of the mine noticed the people crowding together and said, "Hey, what's going on down there?" The slaves answered, "Quit your resting. Go back to your seats." "Listen, you blondie, if I hear you get in one more time, you're dead," said one of the slaves to Jeffer. But the blonde man didn't even want to bother with such scum ... And there was a little boy sitting in the corner who thanked Jeffer. He protected him. Apparently this child had done something wrong. "Uncle, thank you for stepping in," said the little boy. Jeffer paid no attention to this. He could not understand what had happened. Apparently because it was 10 years ago he could not remember all the details. He needs some time to adjust. Now remember the gifts, the gift the gods promised, and where is it? Apparently I need to check my special advantages. Jeffer started the test. What? Wait a minute. That's crazy. Is that even possible? Jeffer began to work hard, so much so that when the other slaves noticed his persistence, they were surprised. This newcomer is not so simple. They said, "Well done. Maybe he's a miner. How fast he is. It would be great if he was in our brigade," said the slaves of the neighboring brigade. "Damn, only now we'll have to work properly because of him. Is this for real?" Jeffer still couldn't believe the gift he saw. A little earlier he had opened the special benefits and the information was in his head in an instant. What is this? It's a repository of all the best skills, and the ones I never had before. The gods just gave me these skills. Holy crap. "Hey, there," the warden yelled. "I told everyone to get back to work. Do you want to get whipped on your first day?" The crew chief angrily interrogated Jeffer. "You never understand in a good way. Now I'll teach you to obey." Grabbed the whip and swung it to hit Jeffer. And as soon as the whip was launched in the direction of the Jeffer, he was able to intercept the whip in a moment. He was able to catch the whip with his hand. "I beg your pardon. I'll get back to work now," said Jeffer to his superior. "Thanks to my past combat experience, I can see his every move and I can control the blows and not a single scratch is left on me." A skill plate appeared in front of him. Iron Wall greatly increases defensive skills, fully absorbs damage below his own defense, guarantees high endurance. Jeffer felt no fatigue at all. You can work like this all day long. It's a useful skill if used properly. It was a nice present. I got 9 special abilities. If you take into account my knowledge of the future, I'll be able to recover quickly. The first thing I have to do is get my revenge. It's the end of the day, and the rankings are in. Brigade F first place, the guys rejoiced, and the very boy that Jeffer saved. It turns out the kid and I are in the same brigade. Second place Brigade B, third place Brigade N. The rest of us were out of luck. According to our mine rules, money and groceries are distributed between first, second, and third place. The brigades begin to pray to the gods. Noticing this, Jeffer didn't even bother to do so, for he understood what the gods really thought of the people. And the people kept shouting and praying. "How silly," thought the blonde. "Let us pray to the great Arya, goddess of light. O almighty Arya, save us all with your eternal light. O great Arya, save us all with your light." On the continent, among the 3 great deities, the goddess of light Arya is worshipped the most. All the people who have been here have been enslaved because of a debt that can only be repaid by becoming a slave. and our hero, too, was a slave for the time being. Anyway, as long as Jeffer is branded a slave, he cannot move freely, and if he goes outside without permission, his heart will stop. I must settle in quickly. I must pay back what I owe as soon as possible and regain my freedom. Then you can at least plan something. In Tartaros, you will not get off that easily. I will avenge whatever it is. And for my beloved. Jeffer's heart ached at these thoughts. I will be able to protect you. Jeffer went to the store. A mug of beer for 80 pieces of silver. He hadn't seen these fucking prices in a long time. Hey, man, I'd like to buy you a beer. That's the kid that came up to him. You got a lot of money. I just got the answer, kid. You protected me in the mine, and thanks to you our team won first place. Our team is full of wimps. That's why we usually came in last. And today, thanks to you, we got the money. It was the first time I ever got money, you might say. Apparently the kid got beaten up for being weak, so Jeffer stood up for him. But don't waste your money on me. Don't bother me with any nonsense. Sent the kid away by the Jeffer. Approaching the shop, he asked if there was anything restorative. 1 gold for a glass and 4 for a bottle. Here is 1.5 gold. Threw the coins on the table to Fear and took the drink. I will borrow the rest. You must have a receipt. Get it? I will sign, said the merchant. Uncle, are you crazy? Shouted the boy. Do you know what will happen if you cannot pay? But Jeffer didn't care. The kid was just trying to say that the interest on the extra loan was awfully high. Yes, I'll pay it off, replied the Jeffer while sipping his drink. It's a popular stamina replenishing product. And if you drink more of it, you can get the hidden effect of increasing magical energy. But even from 10 bottles, the effectiveness remains low. Jeffer understood one thing, that there is no big money to be made in the mine. Even if I did my best, there would be no good rewards. I had to think of something. I think I understand, thought Jeffer. Money could be made in the dungeon. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you.